through it?
Yeah. Yeah, what episode are we on?
Alright. I think this is only episode 4.
Yeah, you're right.
Alright, Mulligans and Hackers, Season 3, podcast episode number 4.
Number 4.
It's been a long summer, and we have really slacked off on getting our podcasts in this year.
Do you have a round count?
Round
Do you have an official round count down? How many rounds you played?
I can give you an estimate. I don't have an official count.
I don't have
an
official round count either, but
I have around 70. I want to say around 70 on my Golf Canada app, and then there's like another 15 or 20 that aren't on there. So I'm close to 100.
I don't know if I'm there
or
yet.
close to 90. I'd
close
say.
to 90.
Sorry, 90. Yeah.
I think if I go, for the next pod we'll get an official round count.
Yeah. I mean, our season's starting to dwindle down here towards the end. Like once September hits, we play less golf because we're getting busy and doing things.
Well, again, we both have holidays coming up.
Yeah, we got holidays coming up.
And that's after our tour championship, but we'll get to that.
100%. So last time we talked to you guys,
we finished.
Well, we didn't even finish. We had played one day of our major championship.
The jug?
We kind of teased a little bit what was going on there.
Yep.
But we never really talked about what happened those days or what had gone on. So we'll pick right back up there. So our major championship was event number 10 of the season. And again, we were down at Cottonwood, 2-day event. Josh and Jacob came down. Mm-hmm. We had 5 guys participating.
Yep.
And it was a beauty weekend for some golf.
There was some career highlights in those 2 days.
Absolutely.
Those 2 days, there was some things that happened that for both of us.
Yeah.
For both of us, it was an interesting weekend. Day number 1. Did you already break before that, or was this the first time?
No, I already did before.
Okay,
this
so
is the second time.
So we talked last time where we were talking about breaking 70.
Yeah.
And Chris had broken 70 at our par 66 course and shot a 69.
Yep. Just on a day that we were just out playing some golf.
So that was a career best.
Yeah.
So how long after that was day 1 of the jug? It was only
2 weeks.
2 weeks,
maybe a week, 2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Chris comes out on the first day, and fires another 69.
Yeah. I played with Jake and Josh, who they weren't there. Obviously, no one else saw my 69 other than you did on the first day, or on the original time I did it. So it was nice to actually fire it with Jake and Josh out there with me to see how well I was playing.
Yeah, I think to recap, your first 69. I was having a terrible day, and I wasn't even really paying attention to your game.
That's right.
Until we made the turn, and we got to hole number 6, which was on the back at that point.
Yep.
Which would have been 15.
Yes.
The 15th hole.
Yeah.
I was really steamed walking off the green, and I think that I mentioned this in the last podcast. Was I was really steamed, and I just kind of looked over at you and said, "Jesus, you must be having a really good round going." You kind of went, "Yep," and just kept. And then we didn't even talk numbers until we got to like 17.
Yeah, well, once I chipped on 17 and made par, because I missed the green. Yeah. Once I made par, you kind of looked at me, and then you're like, "Man, your round must be crazy." And I was just like, +3. And you said, +3 for the 9? And I was like, no, like +3.
Yeah.
And then it was on.
So then it was on. I really wanted him to get that 69. Because again, this is us supporting each other and wanting us to do that.
So it's kind of funny because that first time through, we started on the back. I was 4 over on the back, which we played at the front. And then we played the front as the back that day. And I went 1 under to get down to 3 over. Which again is a career. That's the best I've ever played.
First time you've ever played 9 under par.
Yes, I had parred each 9 on that course. I think I did the front twice and the back once last year at different times, but never under par. So then in this 69 in my opening round, we start on 1. Mm-hmm. So it's a normal round that day. So I go 4 over on 1 or on the front. And then I go 1 under on the back, which usually plays a little tougher for me. But I was just dialed that day. There was There was no drops. There was no doubles. There was nothing crazy. I think I want to say I had 2 birdies that day. So I think I had 2 birdies and I think I had 5 bogeys. And the other 10 holes were all pars. So it was like, talk about going out and making a statement on day 1 of the jug, right? Like last year, if anyone remembers and listens to our podcast, Clark was hemorrhaging so bad down the stretch, and I couldn't. He was wide open door for me to catch him because I was right there with him. And we got into 7, 8, and 9 because we finished. We put the back first on that day, and I remember I missed some short putts, I missed some chips, I hit a bad tee shot on 8. I was just like nothing I could do, and I had a chance to beat him that day. But he did just enough to win to collect the jug last year.
Yep.
So this year, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder coming in. I mean...
So day number 1, let's just say it. Day number 1, Chris goes out and shoots a second 69.
Yeah, and I mean... Actually, there was another career best that day as well. Because you weren't even in second. Clark wasn't in second. Dave wasn't in second.
You are right.
Josh wasn't in second. Jacob goes out and shoots an 83. Which is his best ever out there, which is a plus 17.
Yeah, that's definitely another career best.
Yeah, and he played terrific that day.
What a weekend.
Yeah, he played awesome. So he had put himself. So after day 1, it was me in first with a plus 369.
Amazing.
Jacob was second with a plus 1783,
which was really cool.
Yeah, you were third with a plus 2187.
Yeah, I didn't play well that day.
No, and Clark was fourth with a plus 2288, and then Josh shot a 105, and he was sitting in fifth. And then I think because I went out with Jake and Josh, and you went out with Clark and.
Just Clark.
Oh, just Clark. Sorry, Clark. Dave didn't play that week.
Yeah, Dave didn't play.
He was unable to play because I think his back was bugging him. I think that's what was up. So yeah, and then I think we went out in the same groups the next day, did we not?
You bet.
Right. So round 2, you guys went ahead of us this time.
Yes.
We were ahead of you the day before.
Yeah.
So round 2, we were following you guys up, and I was like, man, they're getting off the tee boxes and the greens.
So let's set up that day 2 from my perspective. The 69 was probably going to be untouchable. If you played a low 80s, high 70s round, it was a wrap. Nobody could really get to that point.
Yeah.
Not in tournament play. I mean, that's a career best round for Mulligans and Hackers for any round.
I just had to avoid blowing up in order to win the job.
You bet. Yeah. You bet. So we start on the back.
Yes.
And truthfully, I'm playing with really like nothing to lose. I wanted second spot from Jacob because again, points mattered at that point.
Yep. They still matter.
So,
and because I mean, it was worth 3 times.
Yep.
Because it's a major.
Because it's a major, right? So it's worth 3 times the points. So points were important because I didn't want Chris to get too far in front of me in the points stands, but we'll get to that too. So start off on 10. Me and Clark. So I bogey 10. I was like, well, that's a typical start. I birdied 11. Yep. So I'm back to even. I was like, hey, that's a fantastic start. So then we get into my amen corner, 12, 13, 14.
Yep.
Which truly this year hasn't really been my amen corner.
No, it's been worse for me, honestly.
True. Yeah, it's true. So we get into the first par 3. The elevated tee box.
Yep.
Plunk it on the green, 2-putt par. Really, no stress.
Yep.
So through 3 holes, I'm even.
Even par, yeah.
The next par 3, which is the longer par 3 that we play from the blacks.
Like 175
yards.
80 yards, yeah.
Off the tee box, hit the green. I got probably about a 12-foot putt. Drain it for birdie. Yeah. So here we are through 4. I'm 1 under.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, damn. I really wasn't thinking that way. I was kind of like, wow, things are going right. So then we get to the par 5. I'm on in 3.
Yep.
2-putt for a par.
Perfect. And again, we talk about this all the time. On the par 5, if you par or better, you're gaining strokes on just about the entire field.
And again, my strategy on that hole has changed.
Yes.
I played it as a 3-shot hole.
Yep.
And as I play it as a 3-shot hole, hybrid, 9-iron.
But you basically taking the shit out of the equation.
Yeah.
So you have no chance.
No chance of losing
it.
it. Right. So get on par 5. So through my amen corner, I'm 1 under, and for the round, I'm 1 under.
Yep.
So then we get to the next hole, which was the hole that used to be a real challenge for me because that second shot's a longer shot in.
Yeah,
15, and the approach to the green is narrow.
That's right.
Right, so you have no bailout on the left.
You got a little on the right.
You got, but you're in the hills if you're on the right. So, and there's a creek in front to the right, and a very short runway up. So I hit my drive just out to the left, and I hit my second shot not great, and I'm not on the green. So I'm like, okay, if you take a bogey here, right, you can get off this, and you're still even par. I was actually battling for just even par through the 9. I'm like, Alvin, it's legitimate. You can make this go. So I take my third shot. I'm within like 1.5 feet of the cup. Tap it in for a par. I was like, oh wow, this is cool. So now I'm 1 under through 6.
Yep.
So then we get to the next par 3, which has been my nemesis. It's a nemesis for me because there's no bailout right, sand left, and 2 rows of creek.
You got to be short or on the
right.
on it.
So I make the shot on that one. I come up short. I'm like, okay, chip, 2-putt. Again, if you get a bogey, you're still at even and you're good with 2 holes to go. Well, I chip it within, 4 feet, make the putt. So I parred that. I'm like, oh, snap. And Clark is like, dude, everything is falling for you. I'm like, Clark, just let's play it out. Let's just play it out. Next hole, 17. Fairway, green, 2-putt par. I'm like, son of a bitch.
And what happened the day before on that hole?
What happened the day before on that hole?
Didn't you hit the tee marker and go backwards?
Oh, yeah. So on 17, which was 17 the day before, I don't know. Maybe somebody out there can kind of relate to what happened here. So I teed up from the blacks, and the blacks and the blues were staggered. So in front, the blues were kind of halfway in the blacks' tee box.
Right. One of the tee markers was
right in the line.
Yeah.
So I usually hit my 3-wood, and I usually get great loft on my 3-wood, and that's the shot I usually take because it never gets me in trouble. And so on the Saturday, I take my tee shot. There's no height to it. Comes out a low stinger, hits the blue marker, puts the blue marker about 5 feet in front of the tee box, and my ball actually goes behind our tee box at the par 3 down on the fairway. So Clark had said, Alvin, that's the first time I've ever seen somebody tee off and still be away. So that's what happened the day before on the Saturday. Now on the Sunday, it was fairway, green, 2-putt par. So at this point, I'm through these 8 holes, and I'm 1 under.
Yep.
So now we get to 18, which was number 9.
Yep.
And hit the green.
Again, another one with no bailout right.
No bailout right, and a bunker, bunker, and then you're in the trees.
So you're on Bogey Valley on the left.
On the left is Bogey Valley. Yep.
It's thick clover, so typically you're going to bogey out of there.
Pin was mid that day, if I recall, and I hit the front, and I putted my first one. I put my first one to within under a foot, tapped it in for a par.
Beauty.
So I went bogey, birdie, par, birdie, bogey, or par. And this is the first time I've ever, playing golf, been under par for 9 holes.
Yeah, it was awesome.
So there we go. So that weekend we have so many.
3 career bests.
3 career bests.
Yeah, for 3 different
69
people.
In the tournament. Jacob, shooting an 83, a career best there.
Yep.
And me going 1 under for my first time 9 holes.
And it's funny because we were behind you guys, and we kind of came by because 18's here and one kind of right here.
So we're teeing
off
on number 1.
And I said something. I was like, "Whoa, you must be having a pretty good round." And I was like, "How are you guys doing?" And Clark's like, "Well, I'm doing shit." But he's like, "But Alvin's doing really good." I'm like, "What are you, par?" I was like, "Because I just had the feeling you had a good round."
Yeah.
And you're just like, "Better." And I'm like, "What?" I was like, 1 under? And you're like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Holy shit." Well, I said to you, and I meant it. I was like, "Well, now you got to string another 9 together."
Yes.
Because that's the hard part.
So now let's talk about that 9. So I'm not going to go through everything that happened in that 9. But I did bogey 11, which was number 1.
Yeah.
So I bogeyed that one, and that was it. It was double squares from then on in. So I shoot one under on the back, and then we make the turn on the front. I go 12 over for 9 holes. 12 over. Literally do when I say, like, I think I had built up so much mental energy to come through and finish 1 under on that 9 because I knew that's where I was. I think I used up so much mental energy. When I got up on that number 1 tee box, I had 0 mental focus left.
And it's
none.
And it's crazy because we almost always play 1 to 9 way better than we play 10 to 18.
Yeah. So I finished the day at 11 over.
Yeah, I mean, you shot a 77.
77, which again, breaking 80 is great.
Yep, was terrific. Yeah, I mean, you finished with a 164 plus 32.
Yep.
Which was good. My day wasn't quite as clean as the previous day, but I still managed to cart a 76, which again was a terrific round. That's only 10 over. That's plus 13 for a 2-day round. Like that's a 1-day score, a good 1-day score usually. That's a 2-day score plus 13.
Again, you said it, like a 2-day score plus 13. My 2-day score was plus 32, and I played okay.
Yeah, well, you had 1 lights out 9.
Yep, 1 lights out 9, but I played okay.
Yep.
Right, because again, second day plus 11, right?
Yep. Jake fell off a little bit on the second day and shot a 91, but he still managed to finish 3rd. And then Clark followed his 88 up with an 89, finishing 4th. And then Josh finished 5th. He had a little bit of a rougher day as well. So but dude,
you won the 2-day tournament by 19 strokes.
Yeah, well, I won it on the first day, realistically.
Dude, the 2-day tournament in our group, you won the tournament by 19 strokes. That is just next level shit.
It was just, honestly, it was just one of those, like, I knew I was having a good round that day, but I was just kind of, whatever, I'm just playing golf, whatever.
But really, you just had to go, you had to just go out and shoot a round on Sunday.
Yeah,
and
Sunday there was no pressure.
And you shot a 77, which is still a great round. Yeah. Like for us, a 77, that's
76.
76, sorry.
Yeah, I beat you by 1.
That's a great round.
That's a normal round.
That's a normal
great round.
You bet. So,
but I mean, shooting the 69 on the Saturday, I knew when I locked in the 69, and then when we seen everyone else's scores, I'm like, and now it's mine to lose. Like, all you got to do is just go out and shoot like an 8. You can shoot an 80 in your basic, and unless you go out and drop a 69, I'm like, right, which is going to be hard.
Which would have been something if I could play that second 9 remotely close to how I played the first 9. But like I said, I think I expended all of my mental energy finishing up par on that back 9, and really that was my tournament. I made a career best of playing 9 holes, 1 under par, and I didn't have anything left for the rest. And Clark could tell my focus wasn't there. Like I was trying to place the ball. Just don't be in trouble. And every time I made a shot that don't be in trouble, I put myself in trouble.
Yeah.
Right. And
that's we know if there's one thing I've learned, having played an immense amount of golf in the last 3.5 years, it's the hardest part and the toughest thing about trying to be good at golf is putting 18 holes together.
You bet.
Because we've seen 9-hole stretches, we've seen 6-hole stretches, we've seen 12-hole stretches. I mean, I laugh about it. Like, I mean, we went out for a practice round today, and we were talking about some of my last few rounds. Like, I'll be playing at like +9 to like +13, and 6 to 8 of those strokes will happen on 3 holes.
3 holes. You bet.
And I'm just like, are you kidding me? Like, you just got to sort your life out for 3 more holes and you can get a low score. Yeah, but it's not easier said than done.
Yeah, it was like, what did I shoot today? I shot 80 today.
Yeah.
And 6 strokes, 2 holes.
Yeah, man. Yep.
Right?
It just aggravates you.
2 triples.
Yeah.
And like,
like let's say you take a stroke a hole away, and you're at 78.
Yeah, it's just.
But I mean, hey, Mulligans Hackers rule number 1: golf is
hard.
Golf is very hard,
and it humbles us all the time, man.
Absolutely,
all the time. So, getting back to the jug.
Yep.
Chris wins the jug. That's the career Grand Slam.
Yep.
So he's won all of our trophies that we have in play at least once. So congrats on the career Grand Slam. So the only again, you have the chance of season Grand Slam because you need to win the Tour Championship jacket, and you have a career Grand Slam and you have a season Grand Slam.
It's looking that way. We will discuss that as we go through the rest of our events, but it's looking. I've set myself up pretty good this year. Let's just say that way.
But again, it's a major, and it's a major. I want to win as well. Defending champion.
Yeah, so that event was worth 3,000 points. So I mean, I picked up first. So that gave me 4 wins in 10 events, put me at 14,100 points. Alvin was sitting there in second still sitting there in second on the leaderboard after a second place finish.
3 wins.
Yeah,
on the season.
Three wins on the season. 700 points behind me at 13,400. Clark, after getting off to a really hot beginning of the season, he's sitting in third. He had kind of cooled off a little bit with 3 wins at 12,150 points. And then Dave, who's our other regular, he's sitting in fourth with 6,150. Jake is at 3,500. Then Josh at 2,650, and Kevin and Marcus following up with 600 and 350. So I mean, that was event number 10. So of 14 on the season.
Yes.
And my second event win in a row of the year.
Yes.
Of this year.
So I dropped a little bit further behind in points.
Yep.
Which will be important coming up here.
So then, was that a week later? Yeah, yep. A week later, we had event number 11.
Yes.
Down at Cottonwood.
Mm-hmm. So here we go. Chris puts up another stellar performance. Shoots a 73 plus 7.
7 over.
And then the rest of us, again, we just had that middling day. I shot an 84 plus 18. There was nothing right home about there. Clark had a rough day at plus 22, and Dave had a rough day at plus 25. So Chris puts up 3rd win in a row.
3rd win in a row, yep.
I drop another 100 points back in the overall standings.
Yep.
So
that's my 5th win of the year.
Chris gets 5th win of the year. He's sitting at 15,100 points. I'm still in second with 14,300 points. Clark is still in third, 12,950. And Dave comes up in fourth, 6,850.
Yep.
So
then
still falling points behind in the overall chase for the cup. So
then we had a couple weeks off because we had some guys holidaying. So we had to move some stuff around. We actually got out with my best friend Clay came down, and what was supposed to be an event weekend out at Desert Bloom, we just ended up playing a practice round.
First time playing Desert Bloom.
Yeah,
first time.
So Clark was out of town and Dave was unavailable. So we had booked a tee time beforehand, and we decided, hey, we'll just go play it. We'll play a practice round out there.
Never played the place before. Never been out there before.
Yeah, and you played really well, pretty well that round. I
shot 80.
You were 17 over.
17 over. 89.
Yeah, 89.
89. Yeah. 17 over. Loved the course, and yes, I played a little bit out of my shoes that round. Nothing got. I 18 holes. I hit 1 bad shot.
Yeah, but nothing. No, I didn't really think you played out of your shoes. I thought you just managed the course really well. And I think for you, I mean, we've seen this before when we go golfing. New courses for you, you tend to handle them really well because you just kind of cautiously go around the course.
I don't attack the course. I just take what the course gives me.
Right, and for me, when I play, I'm just like I'm a big risk reward guy. So even if I've never played the course, I'm like I'm gonna be aggressive. I'll see what it gets me, and then if I happen to play a course again, I'm like, okay, here's the adjustments we can make.
Right.
But I don't have it in me to not be aggressive because that's just the way I am.
Yeah. But I shot an 89.
Yeah, you finished with a birdie.
Yep.
On the par
5. I only had 1 bad shot that day.
Yeah.
Which would be kind of foreshadowing to because there's a hole on the front and a hole on the back that for guys like us they're really tough holes.
Yeah, 8 and 9. 8
yes.
and 9 on the front, and then which one is it on the back that's tough? Is that the layup one?
The layup one, yeah.
Yeah, so that is I want to say 15. 14 or 15. Yeah.
So
so
let's go back to that first practice round.
Yep.
The greens.
Yes. Yep.
So it's a very high-end golf course.
Probably one of the more well kept. It's the priciest course in town for a membership.
The greens were. I've never played on greens like that before.
Oh, they're fast.
Ever.
They're fast.
I've never been around greens that play that fast.
It's like putting concrete. That's how fast it is.
So, I went to the practice green and I did my rounds around the practice green, uphill, downhill, off to the left, off to the right, just getting the breaks. And, 10-foot putt from below the hole, you tap it, it's 7 feet above the hole. Ridiculous.
God forbid if you're above the hole and you got a downhill putt.
You have to hit the line. So on that round that we played, the practice round, I think I had 5 3-putts.
Yeah,
in that round.
And I don't 3-putt much, and I think I had 2 or 3.
So
and close putts. Like on our
let's not get into that.
On our normal course, you can make a close putt.
Yeah.
On that course, my God, if there's even the slightest break.
But if we're all together playing,
yep,
and it doesn't matter where we're playing, lately, if you've seen the amount of lip outs, it is.
I wish we had video footage. It's crazy.
Like we should
have a lip out counter. We'd be over like 400 or 500.
Like in the last 2 weeks. I mean, I watched a ball. Dave put a ball on yesterday.
Yeah,
he put a ball. It fell in the hole. It got under the lip. It went around the back of the cup and fired itself back at him. Yeah. And not just like 2 or 3 inches back at him. It came like 1.5 foot back at him.
Yep.
And it wasn't a blistering putt.
Nope.
But it was below the hole. It was below the lip, and it lipped right around the. We've seen that and BS like that for the last 3 weeks.
Oh yeah. It's been, and it's not just one guy. It's everybody.
Everyone.
It's been frustrating. That has been a bane of our existence lately.
Wow. Yeah, just the lip outs, but the greens at Desert Bloom, crazy fast, and we'll get to our Desert Bloom tournament.
They're a little bigger, but they're quick.
Yeah.
And it's more of a linksy style. Not as linksy as it used to be because they've cut it down to make it a little bit more playable for everybody.
Yeah.
There's a few, there is a few houses and areas, but nothing really that you should worry about unless you're hitting a really bad wayward shot. But the thing out there is a lot of the approach shots are blind.
Yes.
So or downhill and blind.
Yeah.
So it's tough because if you don't play there enough, you don't know. Like you can say, "Hey, I have this yardage," but what is it going to play like? Well, I don't know. I don't play here enough.
And I don't play blind shots well.
No,
I just don't. I don't have the experience to trust what I'm doing yet.
Yep.
But I don't play blind shots very well, and there's a few of them out there at that golf course. But we play the next week. We play our event at Desert Bloom.
Yes, yeah.
Right?
So we played there, and then we took Clay out to Birdsall on the Sunday.
Right. So
and we got him out there. We played a quick 18.
We were gonna play 36. We got out there. As you'll see on the screen here, there were some dark clouds, and
I was teeing off on one of the one par 3, and I did a practice swing, and in my backswing, all I hear is static electricity, and I look back, and Alvin looks at me, and he's like,
"I said that lightning strike was right there, about 30 feet, in front of us."
Yeah.
That hit the ground, but before that, we finished our first 9.
Yeah.
And there was a lady at the clubhouse.
That's right.
She was watering the plants.
Yes.
And that black sky was out there, and it was really pretty.
Yeah, it was there
the whole day. And I asked her, I said, "So, are we going to get any of that weather?" And she kind of laughed. She goes, "We haven't had rain out here in 2.5 months. That always skirts us." But we got 3 holes into that back 9, and the skies opened up.
Yep.
And again, my round kind of went to shit because I don't like playing with a jacket on. I can't.
It restricts you.
I can't play with layers on. I just like to play casual, with a polo on. So my game kind of went. Again, there was a lot of double squares after that, but again, still played the course well. The first 9 was good.
Yeah, you played a stellar first 9.
Loved that course too, by the way. And Chevy's was closed, which was a disappointment.
Yeah, we actually decided we were gonna go to Chevy's for lunch, and then hopefully wait it out and come back.
But it was a Sunday, and they're closed on Sunday, and
it is what it is.
Too bad. But we only got 18 in there, and then we came home. So it was nice golf with Clay. Good to see him. Haven't seen him for a while, so.
Yeah. So then the following Saturday, we returned to Desert Bloom.
The Bloom.
And it was a double event weekend because
Yes, so we were going to
Clark
play
was back, so we played the Saturday and the Sunday.
Saturday at Bloom, Sunday at Conwood.
So Saturday we played at Desert Bloom. It was a fourth and final event in the Chase for Purple Sombrero.
Yep.
And at this point, I was leading you by 200 points.
Yes.
Because I had 2 wins and a second place finish, and you had 1 win and 2 second place finishes.
So if I could pull out a W and you finished in second, we would share the purple sombrero. If I won and you fell any lower, I win the purple sombrero.
Correct.
That didn't happen. So Chris puts up a really, really solid plus 19, and that round, our tour round there, it was wet.
Oh yeah, it started ugly. So from the first round, I usually play E6s, like Bridgestone E6s is the ball I usually play. Well, on that course, because it putts so fast and those softballs jump off my putter face, I was like, well, I'm just going to play my E12 contacts, the Bridgestone E12 contacts. So I played the contacts on purpose so that I had more feel in my putting, and it paid off that day. Yeah. I putted a lot better. We
got into hole number 4 or 5, and it started to rain well enough to where I had to put a jacket on.
Yeah, and that kind of derailed you a little bit.
Then there's some more double squares on the scorecard there.
But it was funny because going into the back, I had like a 3 or 4 stroke lead. 10, I take an 8. Like I swear to God, it was like I forgot how to golf for one hole. I took my 5 hybrid. I freaking just completely duck hooked my tee shot into the water. So I hit another ball. I end up down there. I'm like, okay, whatever. You know, I'm hitting 4 here. So I come up short. Okay, whatever. Gonna hit 5. Let's put on the green. I have a wedge in my hand. Well, I fucking hit it with an open face. Almost killed Dave. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, man. Like, he's just looking at me like, what's going on?
I think Clark almost killed Dave that day.
Yeah.
And then 2 almost killed. I was like, well, Dave, I'm the only one left. I think I shot at
you. So then I hit a wedge. Open face just fucking flies one way. So then I'm over near. So then I go over to it. Go to hit my wedge shot. Fucking shank it again. Almost killed Clark. and then anyways, long story short, I end up with an 8. So I end up maxing the hole. That's what we say our max is 8 on par 4s. And so I maxed the hole. So all of a sudden, I think you jumped into the lead at that point, and then it was kind of a battle on the back. And it didn't matter, like if somebody made a bad shot after that, someone else made a bad shot. Nobody could take advantage. Like even on 18, I had a lead. I teed off with a 6-iron into the par 5, and I just had a little bit of a draw on it, and it stayed straight from where I was, and it drew a little bit. OB. Mm-hmm. It bounced OB. So I was hitting 3 down there. Well, Clark put his in the water. You put yours in the shit, and then Dave put his in the shit. Yeah. Everybody was just like, "Let's do it."
Yeah. I struggled with my yardages out there that day. I went long on some holes.
Yep.
And I really came up short on some holes. Like I was really struggling with distance that day.
Early on, the wind was at our back.
Yes.
And when I'm saying windy, like it was a 2-club wind.
Yeah.
Like I'm hitting a 60 like 125, 130 yards, and I hit a 60 like 65, 70 yards.
Yeah.
Well, full swing.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy.
Yeah, it was again tough to manage, and again playing with a jacket on, it's not my forte. And again, when it's windy and I can't judge my distances, I struggle.
Yeah, and you actually ended up finishing 3rd.
Yeah, so
you kind of died down the stretch there.
I did, and I kind of handed it to Clark down the stretch because again I took a few drops and I had a couple really bad holes in a row, and I just couldn't bring it back. But still, I love that course. It was really nice.
Not worth $110 though. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, that's neither here nor there. Golf is expensive. Yeah. Should be rule number 3.
That's right, or number 2.
No, rule number 2 is if you can't golf, at least look like you can.
That's fair. That's fair. So with that win, that secured me the purple sombrero by 600 points. My second career purple sombrero. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went painful. I went 3-1 this year in the purple sombrero events. My only loss came at Connaught, where Alvin dominated that day.
Picked up my only purple sombrero win on the year.
Yep.
So then get into the overall points. So that's your 6th win of the year.
My 6th win of the year, and that was my 4th win in a row.
So really taking control of the case for the cup.
Yeah, my 4th win in a row, because I was at 2 and you 2 were I tied at 3, and then I decided I went 4 in a row. So that get me a little bit more separation, sitting at 17,100. You're still in second with your 3 wins at 15,900.
Slipping back.
Clark's still in third with his 3 wins at 14,750, and then Dave comfortably in 4th at 8,250. So then the Sunday, which so this was last weekend, we got out and we played Cottonwood, and
So
what happened that day?
So that day was, I think, weather was a little bit of an issue as well. I think we had some wind that day.
Yeah, a little bit.
A little bit. So none of us played well. I played okay, but everybody else didn't really play that well. No. So I picked up my 4th win of the year, shooting a 79 plus 13.
Yeah, which is a good quality score to win.
Yeah, 79 is breaking 80.
Yep,
it's good. You shot in, or Clark came in second.
Yep. I had a putt on 18 to tie him.
Right.
And so I missed a putt on 9, and I missed a putt on 18 that typically I make. So that was 2 strokes right there. There was no reason I shouldn't have finished second, but it was just one of those days where I just didn't have it.
Yep.
I just didn't have it. Yep. I was just trying to survive, and I knew. I think honestly, I put so much focus on winning Desert Bloom to secure the purple sombrero that coming in Sunday, I was kind of like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm comfortably atop here. If I don't win, I don't win.
I'll take the win with a plus 1379, so I'll take the 1,000 points. Clark finished second with plus 17 and 83.
Yep.
So that's good for him. So he gets 900 points, second place. You come in third with an 84 plus 18.
Yep.
At that point, I hadn't seen you shoot a plus 18 there in a long time.
That was, I think, the first time in almost probably 5-6 weeks that I shot above 80.
Yeah.
It had been a long time.
And Dave came in with a really solid plus 2086.
Yeah. Well, and he had a stellar back nine.
Yes.
If he could have got it going a little earlier, he could have been a real threat to sneak in and pick up a W that day.
Mm-hmm. So I picked up 200 points on you that day.
You did.
So
which you needed to get back from the day before.
You bet. So at this point, after 13 events, Chris is still leading, 6 wins, 17,900 points. I'm in second with 16,900 points. I'm 1,000 points behind him at this point.
Yep.
Clark is in third, 3 wins, 15,650. And Dave comes in at fourth with, again, solid 8,950.
Yeah. So then yesterday, we had our final regular season event of the year.
Final one.
Event number 14.
And that was fun. Yesterday was a really, really fun day.
Yesterday was wild. That was one of the best.
We'll put the scorecard up on the screen here.
That was one of the best competitive rounds we've had as a group. So we played the front. It started on 1, played through to 18. So through you parred like the first 3 or 4 holes, I think.
Yeah, I think I was 1 over through.
You were like 1 over through 4, 1 over through 5.
Let's see
here.
Yeah, we'll put this card up on the screen.
Yeah, you were like 1 over through 3 or 4 holes, and
I was 1 over through 5.
Yeah, you were playing stellar.
Yeah, so
and I bogeyed the first hole and then kind of reined it in.
You were 1 over through the first 4 holes, and I was 1 over through the first 5 holes.
Yeah.
So we started, you and I, and we were in the same cart.
Yes.
And then we started to feed off each other, which we normally don't do because we put off the vibes that try to push the other guy off.
Yeah.
But we were in it at that point. Like we were like, okay, let's do this, right?
Yeah. So I mean, we made the turn. You shot a plus 538.
Yep.
And I shot a plus 336.
Yep.
2 stellar front nines.
Oh, dude, you're 3 over through the front.
Which is crazy.
Like it was fabulous.
So then we get to the back, and my back kind of fell apart a little bit. We were talking about 3-hole stretches.
Yes.
Well, I had, if I'm not mistaken, I had a triple, a par, a double, and then a double. So I had 3 7 strokes in 4 holes, and 15 and 16 when I gave up those strokes allowed you to take a 2-stroke lead.
Yes, I took a 2-stroke lead. I took a 1-stroke lead on 15.
Yep.
And then I took a 2-stroke lead on 16.
Yep. 17 we both parred.
17 we both parred, so I still have the 2 strokes. So we go into 18.
Yep. 18th hole, you're up by 2.
Yes, and I try to limp dick at home.
Well, yeah, let's start with our tee shot. So you hit a tee shot. You go first because you had the tee. You still have the tee box.
I still have the tee box. So I
you
went
sent
first.
yours out left. You
But
yours.
But I went left of Bogey Valley.
Yeah, you went left of left.
Left of left.
You yanked yours good. So then I'm kind of like, okay, I got a chance. Well, I stand up there and I do almost the same thing, but I didn't yank it too far. I was in Bogey Valley, but I was deep in the clover. So I was like, okay. So we're riding up there, and I'm like, I need to get this on, and I need a par. Like, that's all I was thinking. I need to get this on, and I need a par.
And I'm thinking in my head, all I need is a bogey.
Yeah, well, that's 100%.
Right? And I'm in bogey territory.
Yeah,
yeah.
So you were away.
I was away.
So you had the opportunity to shoot first. So I watched you take your shot, and you hit a really poor chip shot, and you just get it over the hill.
I did, and my chipping lately has been
really good.
Really good.
Yeah,
really
good.
Like, I've been working on it, right?
Yep.
But it's just in that instance, I short-sided myself on the green, and I had a hill to go over, and there was a valley under it. I didn't give myself a lot of room.
Well, if you go long, then you bring the sand trap.
On the other end.
So it was a really tough shot.
I flubbed it, and I just got it over the hill. So I'm thinking, okay, that's your bad shot.
Well, and then you're in front of me.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, okay. I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, get on the green and put your putter in your hand. Because I like to say that I'm the best putter on tour.
Without a doubt.
So because I love the flat stick. So I was like, just get it on the green. You cannot not put it on the green. You have to put it on the green. So I hit an okay chip shot. I think it gave me about 12 feet.
Yep.
And left me with 12 feet. So then you step up, you hit your chip shot, you put yours just inside of my ball.
Just inside of yours, yeah.
To make me have to putt first.
You bet. And
so I line up my putt, you mark yours, I line up mine, and I'm sitting over it, I line it all up, and I'm talking to myself, I'm like, okay, I was like, I'm far enough ahead of Clark and Dave that if I miss this and I bogey, it doesn't matter. You have to be aggressive. You have to get it to the hole, and you need this putt if you're going to have any chance at all. So I lined up my putt, I hit it straight, dropped it for par. Clutch putt. So then it puts the pressure on you with your bogey putt.
Yes, and it's a makeable bogey putt.
100%. And you got a good read off of what I did.
You bet. Makeable. Totally makeable. And it doesn't drop.
I think you just missed it.
But again, putting has been this for me lately. If I could putt inside of 8 feet, I'd be single-digit fucking handicap right now.
You're essentially Scotty Scheffler because that's his problem too.
It is unbelievable how tight my misses are inside of 8 feet. I can't get them to drop. We talked about lip outs earlier. I'm getting too many of those lip outs.
Well, even
burning edges.
Even today in our practice
round,
you were dropping shots inside of 5-6 feet.
And I couldn't make them
easy birdies for you.
Well, I could have had 3 birdies today.
100%.
And like edged all 3 of them.
Yep.
It's terrible. It's just bad.
So that meant that.
So I take a double bogey. He pars. I had a 2-stroke lead. We're tied. So now we have to go into a playoff hole.
And we haven't had a playoff for. Have we had one this year?
First event, wasn't it?
It was back early. Yeah. I think I beat Clark.
Yes.
I think for my first win, I beat him in a playoff.
Yeah.
So for those of you guys that follow along, the only other time Alvin and I have met in a playoff, Alvin beat me. It was one of the events just after I came back from my injury. He beat me on a playoff on hole 10.
On hole number 10, yes.
I missed a short putt. Alvin made his putt.
Yeah.
So we look, 9's open. So we skitter over to 9 because we're members, and we jump on 9. We throw a little disc for who shoots first. I got to go first. I hit my tee shot. I miss it just out to the left of the green. You hit your tee shot.
I hit the green.
It looked beautiful.
It did, but I rolled into the bunker.
Yeah.
On the number 9 green, it's kind of a kidney shaped, and in the tight area, it actually funnels down into the bunker.
Yeah,
so if
we
you're
call
in
it the valley.
The valley.
Yeah.
So I hit the valley, and I had enough momentum to get me into the bunker.
Yep. So we both had, so it was essentially a chip off. And Alvin's probably, I would say he's probably the best sand player on tour.
That is something I do well.
Yeah, so I wasn't worried. I was like, I know he's going to put this on.
Yeah.
So I hit a nice chip shot to, I don't know, 4 or 5 feet. And I'm like, okay, that's not bad. So then you hit your shot. And
I'm about 8 feet.
Yeah. So
I put it to within 8 feet.
Yeah, you were still away.
Yeah. And again, an 8-foot putt. Here we go again. 8-foot putt. Just got to make it.
Yeah.
Just got
put pressure on.
It wasn't. Well, I didn't even take that shot. You were outside of me because my marker was still on the ground when you drained your par putt.
That was your fourth.
Was it
shot.
my fourth?
That would have been your fourth.
Oh, because I totally, absolutely butchered it.
Yeah,
okay.
you sent your par putt well past the hole.
Right.
And then I had my shot, and I looked at it, and I'm like,
I put these things out of my mind. I can't remember these things.
I was like, it's pretty much straight, like just a downhill straight putt.
And so in my head is like, well, this guy's got to miss it. I mean, he's got to miss something sometime, right? He's just got to.
Yeah, and I stepped up and I hit another clutch putt for a key victory. And not only did it win me the event, but it secured the season win total win trophy for me.
And pretty much guarantees him the chase for the cup. Pretty much unless he doesn't play in our tour championship next week.
Unless I withdraw.
And I win,
yeah.
Then I have a chance at the, but again, it looks like for the 3rd year in a row, I'm going to be the bridesmaid, 2nd place in the chase for the cup again.
Yeah.
It's getting old, son. It's
Is
getting
it?
old. It's getting old.
Well, how are you going to feel when you put the jacket on me for the 2nd time in 3 years?
Again, you can nip and squawk about that, but again, I'm winning the jacket again. So you're going to have to put it on me next weekend, son.
Well, I'm going for the season Grand Slam.
Well, you keep, again, I want to bash you. I want to say, yeah, you don't have a chance. But, man, again, with the way you're playing, I mean, we play our practice rounds right now. And, like, when we get through 9, it's almost like you're half a stroke ahead of me on every hole. So that when we get through 9, you're like 3 strokes ahead.
Yep.
Right? Yep. When we get through 18, you're that 5-6 strokes ahead. And throughout our entire event days are a little different. I focus a little more on
you're a little bit more engaged.
And we can see we're a little tighter, a little more focused.
Yep.
But on our practice rounds, like when we're just out there, and we're just playing, we're doing our own routines. It's like you're almost 0.5 a stroke per hole.
Yep.
And my fairway to green and short game is kind of where I want it. I mean, I get out of the bunker and I'm usually within position.
Yep.
One shot.
Yep.
Around the green, I've been working on my chipping. My chipping is getting me into that 12, 10, 8-foot range. Great. It's that flat stick that when I look back at my scorecards, the 3 putts.
3 putts or the 2 putts where you should be a 1 putt, right?
Yeah, like today, like the 3 strokes I gave up today that should have been birdies that turned into pars.
Yep.
Right. I mean, it's 3 strokes. You're giving away 3 strokes, and I'm doing it with the flat stick. And I'm still like, I like the putter I'm using, the Odyssey White Steel number 2.
Yeah.
I like it, but I need to work on the putting.
Well,
it's not the putter. It's the time and effort. You put a lot of time and effort.
Well, I just asked. We just talked about that today, right? Because I said to you, I was like, "How much time do you put into putting?" And you said none.
Well, none at home.
Well, that's what I said.
You
I said how many at home, and you said none. And I was like, dude, like when I'm watching TV or I'm hanging out upstairs, my putting mat is always down. I'll hit like 200, 300 balls, and then I'll put down my perfect putt, and I'll just hit weight to get it caught in there, and I'll just work on it. And I know it's just a flat surface, but it just becomes a repeatable putting stroke, right? So then when I get out on the greens and I spend some time, and I mean, my routine is I show up an hour before tee time, I hit a large bucket of balls, I go through my club selection up and down, and then I go through my wedges on the bottom end, and then I spend 25, 30 minutes putting. And from all angles on there, and I do it all the time. And the my TaylorMade Spider putter, my ECG, is lethal now. Like today, we were on number 5, which is probably my favorite hole on the entire golf course. I'm almost certain I played a hole under par as a hole. We both had birdie putts.
Yep.
And yours was closer than mine. And well, yeah, just closer. And anyways, you just missed yours again because I think that was like your third or fourth opportunity. And then I just step up and I'm just like, yeah, whatever, put it right in the center of the cup.
Yeah, it's painful to watch. But again, you have to give you credit for the time and effort that you put into working on that flag stick, because that's where you gain strokes and I lose strokes.
Yep.
So that's the game, right?
And I just think that's, for me, my mindset is like I've become really good with my wedges and I've become really good with my putter. And
Short game, inside 150 yards.
Well,
right?
and that's just it, right? Like a lot of the pros will say anything inside 150 yards, that's where you become a better golfer. And I've seen it this year because if you can suck in those approach shots to closer areas, well, you're going to start putting better as a whole, right?
Yep.
And if you mix in the occasional long putt where you can drain one or you can lag them up there nicely, well, then you can put together some really good rounds, which we've seen this year.
My lag putting comes and goes.
I think for you can break 70. It's just you have to, and you're getting better at it. But you gotta not let one bad hole derail you,
Yep.
right? Because for me, like I'll shoot a 6 and then I'll par the next hole or whatever because you just bounce back and you're like, whatever, it's 3. I can go kill that, or I'm gonna limit the damage here, or we'll start like with a double on 1 or something, and then it's like we go par, and all of a sudden we're back to normal. But it's the mentality that, and on tour days you're really good at that.
Yes.
Practice days,
yeah, that's a little
that
different.
gets you a little bit.
Yeah. Again, the mental game, it's a work in progress. I'm getting better, but I still have my moments.
Yep.
But that's who I am as a person too, right?
It's true. It's true.
So
yeah. So our final event of our regular season was yesterday. So Alvin and I tied. I beat him in a playoff for my 7th tour win of the year. So I picked up 1,000 points, another 100 on you.
Yeah. So again, we have a tour championship left next week. So let's preface what we're going to do next week. So we have a practice round on Wednesday.
Yeah, we got a practice round on Wednesday.
Friday we have a very important tournament for us. It's the Halo Charity Classic.
Yep.
We played in it last year.
Had an absolute blast.
Absolute blast. For anyone who doesn't know, Halo Air Ambulance in southern Alberta is
extremely important.
Extremely important for us. Actually, for my family, it actually saved a member of our family when he had a stroke. Halo Air Ambulance went to the job site, which was out in the middle of nowhere. Halo Air Ambulance went and got him, and he's doing quite well today. So personally, very important, and we love to go and do it. So that tournament's Friday. We have our Mulligans and Hackers Scramble squad going in. You, me, Jacob, and Clark this year. Yep. So
a little different variety on it, but we should have fun. I mean, it's our home course. We play it well.
Yep.
I think we were 14 under last year.
Yes.
Yeah. So we played and then when we finished, I was like, hey, we played terrific.
You bet.
Like we couldn't play any better than
we
that.
didn't place, but
yeah.
I mean,
whatever. We were happy with how we played.
It's based on handicaps, and we all know how that system can work.
Yeah.
But we're going to go into it again this year.
We're going to play a practice round in the morning.
We'll do 9 holes in the morning.
Or 18.
Is it 18?
Yeah, 18 practice round in the morning.
I thought we only did 9.
No, we did 18.
Oh, perfect.
18 practice round, have lunch, and then we'll play in the tournament.
Yep.
The scramble format, right? We'll scramble in the morning too.
Yep.
And get our strategy all set up like we did before. And then we'll play it out in the afternoon and have a blast and see what happens. Mean, it is the $100,000 hole-in-one charity classic. It's called. So hole 7 is the $50,000 hole-in-one hole all the time. That's probably the toughest
par 3 on the course. You bet.
That is a hard green to hit consistently. Elevated tee box.
You can really protect the pin on that.
Yeah. For insurance purposes, I think it's got to be like back right because it's got to be a certain distance. Yeah. So it's going to be a deep pin on the back right. Yeah.
We'll get a video and some footage of that one for our next pod.
Yeah, and then there's 3 of the other par 3s also have either $10,000 or $20,000 on them. So I mean, there's some chance to make some money if we could find an ace somewhere.
Yeah, I don't think we've.
Closest we've been is you at Connaught this year, where
Yep.
you lipped the hole.
Yep. Yeah.
But no, but other than that, we really haven't.
We haven't really had a chance at it. We haven't really looked really close at a hole in one at Cottonwood, any of us this year, have we?
Not really. I mean, we've hit a few decent shots, but nothing within, I'd say, 2-3 feet on the par threes.
Yeah.
Not close enough. I think today on 12 would have, or 13 would have been one of the closer shots we've had.
Yeah, it was. Again,
you were about 3 feet out.
Yeah, birdie putt that I didn't make 3 feet. No, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's
So we're playing Halo on Friday. We're looking forward to it. Can't wait to get at it. And then Saturday, Sunday, is Tour Championship, and our season is done.
Yeah.
The Mulligans and Hackers season's done.
Where did
our
it go,
season,
man?
Geez, man.
The end of August, we're seeing the leaves are starting to turn. Like it won't be too long before that.
Yesterday,
Yesterday
and today, it was cool at the golf course.
Whew. Yesterday morning was like 8 degrees,
It was
and I
cool.
got out there
So
in the morning.
fall's coming. I'm hoping we can get
October.
October?
Mid-October.
Mid-October.
Usually they close end October, but I'm hoping like mid-late October.
Yeah.
So
I don't know what we're doing. Yeah, we'll talk about that later. What we're doing this winter, and we'll have another podcast to finish it up.
Oh yeah,
for the year,
and I mean I get busy come September, so my golf kind of like just after our season ends, my golf kind of tails off a little bit because I start coaching again, and it's like I can't golf during the week pretty well, and then once on the weekend, and it's my golf game falls right off at that point. But that's why I golf an absolute like a maniac in the summertime.
So
because it's fun.
So our season's winding down. We'll get into some guest podcasts again this fall, but we'll get more on that in the next pod to wrap up our season.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that we're thinking about.
There's a lot of
talking about for next year, and we'll see what comes out of it and discuss and let you guys know.
We have a whole winter of planning to do. So
yeah. But the most important thing right now is to beat this guy in the Tour Championship next week.
And
after we have a blast,
this guy in the Tour Championship.
After we have a blast at Halo. Hopefully somebody hits a hole in one on our team.
That'd be awesome. And if somebody does hit a hole in one, you'll know.
Oh yeah,
because it will be everywhere on our social media.
That would be huge.
So, that being said, follow our social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. We're on Rumble now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I did that. So nothing much happening over there yet.
Have you ever talking to us on the Instagram? It's usually this guy you're talking to.
Usually it's me. Yes.
He guides that around. I only post occasionally because I got a bunch of other stuff going on. So he typically looks after it.
Yes.
And
download us on Spotify.
Yeah.
We're getting some really good downloads numbers on Spotify, so that's cool. Really appreciate it. For you guys listening to us crackpots talking about our bullshit golf.
Two hacks just talking about our golf. You know, and the journey we've come.
Yeah.
What's your handicap rating right now?
15.2.
Okay. So I was down as well.
So I started the year at 18.
Yeah.
And I'm not using the Canada app because I don't have it right now. But on 18 birdies when I started, I was at 18, and throughout my season, I'm down to 15.2.
Nice.
So
I started at 17.2 or something. After today's round, I think I'm at 13.9, but I was down as low as 10.9.
Yes.
And then I kind of had a stretch where I wasn't playing good golf, as we often do. I've been watching some videos that basically say that one in every 5-ish rounds you play to your handicap, which kind of makes sense. So the other 4 are just going to be either really crazy or really crazy.
Yeah, and I actually noticed that too, because I'll get one round in like the high 70s.
Yeah.
Then the rest of the rounds will be the low 80s.
Yeah.
Right, and then you'll shoot that one round like today. I shot 80, right? But what did I shoot yesterday?
78.
78, right?
Yep.
So yeah, that's kind of where it is, right? And that's why my handicap still sits around the 15.
But I mean, our golf is getting better. There's no doubt in my mind that our golf is, like, from last year to this year, so much better.
Oh yeah.
Like you're a better golfer. I'm a better golfer. Clark is playing really good. Dave's playing really good. Jake is getting way better.
I've seen a big jump in Jake's game because he's playing a lot too. So
he's got a girlfriend now who they've been together for quite some time. She loves golf too. So she's really having someone to golf with, as we know, it makes it a lot easier to get out to the golf course. I actually did get to golf with them a little bit when I was in Calgary on my holidays. We played Strathmore Golf and Country Club. That was fun. And she can hit a ball. It'd be interesting to get her out on tour because she'd give us a run for our money from her tees.
That'd be awesome.
But he's been making some noise. Maybe next year we'll get her out or something like that.
Yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
Bet. There are mixed scrambles out there.
Yeah, oh yeah. If we need a mixed scramble player, she's one to put on the team. She can golf for sure. And actually that day she beat Jake, so it was kind of funny. I don't know how often she beats him, but that day she did. So we were giving him the gears a little bit.
Cool.
But yeah, no, we've been playing a ton of golf, and I mean,
I've noticed the improvement in our game from 2 years ago to last year to this year.
Oh yeah.
Yardage wise, like we were talking about it today. So on certain holes, I used to hit clubs.
Yep.
And that's changed.
Yep. You're one club less now.
Right. So where I would hit a 9-iron, I'm now hitting the pitch wedge.
Yep.
Right. Where I would hit an 8-iron, I'm hitting a 9-iron. And you see that yardage progression. And again, I work out a little bit too, strength and resistance training.
Well, and I mean your athleticism and you're stretching out, right? Like your torque, all of a sudden you're torquing better. We're hitting the ball properly, right? Like we're flushing our iron or our woods a lot better, and we're just getting more and more distance.
Do you think before the end of the year for our YouTube channel we should do what's in the bag videos?
Yeah, it might not be the worst idea. Yeah, I mean, we can sit down and our bags have changed a little bit over the last couple of years.
A little bit,
yeah, we can definitely sit down and go through our what's in the bag.
Something for to look forward to on the YouTube channel.
Yeah. I also threw out a sweet idea, like maybe in September we take one of our days where we're on the weekend and we try to break par from the forward tees. Yeah, that'd be interesting, right?
Yeah.
Like just a little bit of content. I mean, I think we could do it.
I think so too, buddy. I don't know. Are we playing scramble mode?
Well, we could do it two ways. We could play scramble from the blacks between the two of us to try and break par.
Yeah.
Which I think we could do. I think it'd be pretty close. And we could also play individually from the forward tees to see if we could break par, and it would be interesting.
Yeah, okay.
Because but it's a different look because those holes all of a sudden become shorter, right? Like every tee box we're teeing off on is almost drivable now.
Yep.
So you're basically lots of eagle opportunities.
I never thought of that. Yeah, you're right.
So it'd be interesting.
Yeah, so we should do a little bit of content here before we get into our.
I think first we should do you and I go out. We'll scramble the 2-man scramble. We'll play from the blacks. And we'll see if we can't break par.
Okay.
Because I think we could do it.
Okay. Yeah, I'm game with that. So, yeah, a little bit of content coming up.
Yeah, it'll be good. It'll be fun. And I mean, in the meantime, download some past episodes if you guys haven't done so already. We'll prep this one.
Check us out. Check out season 1.
Yeah, check out season 1.
Season 1, episode 1 to see where this all started.
Oh yeah,
and drop a comment and see what you think about where we are now in our game.
Yeah, and how our games and our whole brand is kind of growing. It's wild, man. Like this just started as just a hobby in COVID, and here we are now.
And it's still a hobby.
Oh yeah,
just no COVID.
Yeah.
And this again, we've said it before. This for me is my hobby for my future. I'm probably never going away from the golf game. This is something that I've really latched onto and really fills a huge part of my non-family life. Family's important, but where we are we could talk about it for a long time, where we are in our lives as parents, as husbands. I'm almost an empty nester.
Yeah,
you're getting there too. I've
only got like 4 or 5 years left, and my youngest is gone.
Where our kids don't really need us around anymore, and our relationships are good. So
we play a lot of golf.
We play a lot of golf, and as we go on here in this journey, there's going to be other things that pop up that we're going to do.
Oh, 100%. This is just a start.
Right, we're going into our 4th season, and I think next year, I have some ideas on what I want to do next year.
Yep.
To continue. We've talked about it where. Now we're 3 years into our golf game, and now we need to make another step.
That's right. We need to challenge ourselves a little bit more so we can keep progressing.
Yes, because now we're getting into an area where Okay, we may not be breaking par at Cottonwood, but if we just keep battling that dragon, that might become stale.
That's right.
There has to be something else to keep us engaged.
That's right.
So next year, I have a couple of things that I want to do for my game. You have some things you want to do for your game. Both of us have some things we have to discuss for both of us and the brand.
Yep.
To make that next.
Yep. I mean, lots of exciting stuff in the works, right?
Again, it keeps us interested, keeps us engaged, and keeps our minds. Again, I do this for mental health purposes. Keep me invested in something without going into dark places. Again, episode 1 talks about why I started this and why Chris is with me, and
I mean,
mental health is important, and we don't talk about it enough. And I don't want to get into the whole mainstream media version of mental health, but it's personal for me.
Yep.
I was in a dark place.
Yep.
The brand and golf brought me out of it, and I'm going to be
gives you something to focus your energy on.
I'm going to be eternally grateful to the game for bringing me to where I am now.
100%, man. It's
and again, through our social media, I mean, it's crazy who we engage with.
This guy right here, 36 a day,
36
the official hat of Mulligans and Hackers.
You bet.
And let me tell you, thank you, because this hat here is the official hat of the Tour champion in the season standings.
Oh Christ! Listening to this garbage. But some other people like Brian Cooper.
Yep.
I mean, he's on the Champions Tour PGA. We chat with each other regularly on social media, direct messages back and forth.
It's wild that a guy
never thought that I would talk to somebody who was actually on the tour that way, but he's a cool guy, and I mean, you probably saw the story of him making it to the Champions Tour. A lifelong goal, a career golfer, right? Good for him, and he just played at the Shaw Charity Classic in Calgary.
Yeah, the Champions Tour just played there this weekend,
which is like 3 hours away, and it would have been nice to actually make a trip up there, maybe meet him, or just take in the golf. Again, maybe that's something we look forward to next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
Could be something we do.
Could be something we do, because our tour may change a little bit next year because of where we're going in our golf game.
Yeah, we won't know until that time comes.
No,
but I mean, again, it's a work in progress, right? Like, the whole idea was, I love going to the golf course because I love the challenge of golf. 2, I love that I can get away for 4 or 5 hours and just kind of be in my own little world, do my own thing. Hit golf balls, whether I'm pissed off, whether I'm happy, whether I'm whatever's going on, right? And just have and hang out with my buddies and have fun.
You bet. That's a big part of it. Hanging out with pals.
The whole idea of this was that we had a little bit of a competition while we're doing it, and I mean, it's really brought out the fieriness, which is good.
Throughout my entire life,
yep.
I've always had a small competitive streak. If I'm doing something, it doesn't matter if I'm playing cards or if I'm playing sports, or I've been involved in coaching hockey and playing hockey. I have to compete if I'm doing it. So if we do this golf as pals, there has to be some sort of competition in there. But now we're getting into a point where's the next level of competition?
That's right.
We compete against ourselves. We have a lot of fun competing. But now, do we branch out into other areas of competitiveness?
Well, and
see where our golf game is, not because we want to go out and become pros
but to just challenge ourselves and see where we are in comparison to other amateurs in our same handicap era, right?
Yes.
Because it'd be cool to get out there and play some of those games. And I mean, why do you I don't do anything without the intent of being the best that I can absolutely be at what I'm doing.
I can account for that.
It doesn't matter if it's coaching. It doesn't matter if it's a worker. It doesn't matter if I'm playing sports, like I'm playing golf. I will not commit to anything if I'm not going to commit 100% and be the best possible version.
And so, we're going to challenge ourselves next year, I think, and put ourselves in.
Put a little stress on us.
Put us in different situations. More experiences in the golf realm.
And I mean, it's only going to make us better golfers.
But the experience,
and people,
the experience,
right?
Meeting new people, different experiences, different challenges, and
different opportunities.
different opportunities, and,
Yeah.
and we're we've got some stuff that we're going to talk about over the winter, but we'll get to that then. So we've blabbered long enough
Yeah,
now. I think
no, it's going to be a blast.
you know where we are in the standings. We got one event left, Tour Championship.
So if you listen to this week, probably get the podcast out Monday or Tuesday, or probably Tuesday.
Probably Tuesday.
So if you're listening to this before Saturday, which is the 26th, which is the first day of the Tour Championship, I want you guys to go on our socials, and I want you guys to tag us and tell us who you think is going to win the Tour Championship this year. Tell us who you're cheering for. Tell us who you're cheering for and why. And let us know that you guys are listening to this and that you enjoy our podcast. And we appreciate all you guys out there.
Yeah, man. Really. Drop us a note on Instagram. I'll get back to you. We can chat.
Yeah, YouTube, Facebook page, wherever it is. Just tell us who you're pulling for. And other than that, I'm excited, man. I'm excited for this weekend. It's gonna be fun. From the Halo Classic right to
You
our
bet.
Tour
It's gonna be again. It's
whatever happens.
It's Friday, Saturday, Sunday of golf again for us.
Yeah,
which is fantastic.
That's the norm.
Fantastic.
So, without further ado, guys, may your mulligans be plenty and your hacks be findable. And we'll catch you on the flip side.
Take care.